Processing livestock is an essential part of agricultural life, not only providing food but also contributing to the development of the local economy. In today's video, let's explore how farmers process animals based on their biological characteristics and market demands. Camels are native to the desert regions of Africa and Asia, known for their ability to adapt to harsh, water-scarce environments. With their capacity to regulate body temperature and efficiently use water, camels are an ideal source of food in arid regions. Farmers provide camels with spacious living conditions, protecting them from extreme temperatures, diseases, and natural disasters. Camels require a balanced diet, including dry grass, hay, and clean water, which is especially crucial in dry areas. After slaughter, workers carefully skin the camels to avoid damaging the meat. The hides are then processed to use in leather products, offering an additional income stream for camel farmers. Workers use knives to remove excess fat. The camel meat is divided into major cuts and then further processed into smaller portions according to usage, such as steaks, roasts, tenderloins, ribs, and legs. Camel meat can be processed into various products, including frozen meat, smoked meat, sausages, minced meat, and more. For items like sausages and grilled meat, the meat is mixed with spices to create unique flavors. At Egypt's largest camel market, located in the village of Berquash, hundreds of camels are sold daily. Sales typically surge as Eid al-Adha approaches in early August. During this Muslim festival, sheep or cattle are traditionally sacrificed, but camels are also used. Many buyers opt for camels instead of cattle because they are more affordable and yield more meat. The camel meat market is valued at $1.6 billion as of 2024. Saudi Arabia is one of the leading countries in camel meat production, boasting modern processing facilities. In the United States and the UK, camel burgers are also highly popular. Rabbit farms in China are primarily concentrated in Shandong, Hebei, and Sichuan provinces, where favourable climate conditions and abundant feed are available. Rabbits are typically harvested when they reach a weight of 5.5 to 7 pounds. Before harvesting, farmers stop feeding the rabbits for 8 to 10 hours to cleanse their digestive system, ensuring high meat quality. Rabbits are kept in small cages that can hold 4 to 6 animals to help facilitate transportation. In Hebei province, large farms can harvest between 1,500 and 2,000 rabbits daily. Rabbits are stunned using CO2 gas or a mild electric current, which causes them to pass within seconds and minimizes pain. They are then bled to remove blood, ensuring the meat has a bright and fresh appearance. Workers remove the skin from the legs and neck area before suspending the rabbits upside down. Machines then apply continuous pulling force to completely separate the skin from the body. Next, workers eviscerate the rabbits to remove the internal organs. At large processing facilities, approximately 33,000 pounds of rabbit meat can be handled each day. Rabbit meat is distributed to domestic markets as well as Europe, the Middle East, and Japan. In 2023, China exported 8.7 million pounds of rabbit meat, with a total value of around $20 million. With its exceptional health benefits, rabbit meat has become a popular choice for family meals and restaurant dishes in China. In European countries, rabbit meat is also highly favoured for its delicious flavour. Roasted rabbit with honey and herbs yields crispy skin and tender meat. Fox farming and fur production are an integral part of Finland's heritage. The process begins in early spring with the selection of breeding pairs. Finnish farmers carefully choose foxes with robust health and superior fur quality. At 6 to 7 months old, the foxes reach maturity, and their fur achieves the optimal quality and texture, making it the ideal time for harvesting. Producers select foxes with the best fur in terms of density, colour, and texture to ensure the final product meets the highest standards. While this practice is banned in most European countries, Finland still produces over 1 million fox pelts annually. Farmers use knives to carefully separate the skin from the muscle, minimizing the amount of flesh left on the hide. Tail skinning is also performed meticulously, as buyers prefer foxes with intact tails. Next, the fur is washed with water and mild soap to remove dirt and grease. The fox fur is then dried and dyed to enhance its appearance and durability. Finally, the fur is reinforced and thoroughly inspected to ensure it is ready to be crafted into high-end garments or accessories. In 2024, the global donkey meat market is valued at $92 billion. Among the leading countries, China has the largest donkey population, with most raised on centralized farms. In China, donkeys are typically raised to about 3 years old before being sold. These animals are carefully selected to ensure they meet health and weight standards before being sent to processing facilities. The first step in processing is slaughtering. Workers then use boiling water to soften the hair, making it easier to remove. A team of workers skin the donkeys to harvest hides for producing a jao, a traditional Chinese gelatin product. Donkey meat is also portioned into cuts to meet the demands of the food industry. Donkey meat is popular in several Asian countries, particularly in China, where it is incorporated into traditional meals. It is prized not only for its unique flavour, but also for its health benefits, such as improved blood circulation. On the streets and alleys of northern China, shops selling donkey burgers can be found everywhere. Donkey burger is a traditional and widely popular snack in northern China. The meat is braised over high heat, followed by slow cooking, with nearly 20 different spices. The donkey burger is served in a crispy hot bun with green chili paste. The contrast between the flavorful meat, crispy bread, and savory sauces make this a famous dish. India is home to around 150 million goats. making it the largest producer of goats in the world. These animals play a vital role in Indian agriculture, providing milk, meat, and fibre to millions of people. In India, farmers typically build goat sheds in elevated, well-ventilated areas to ensure a clean and dry living environment. Goats are usually harvested for sale between 9 and 12 months of age. At this stage, their ideal weight ranges from 25 to 35 kilograms, ensuring a tender and flavourful meat. A medium-sized goat farm with around 100 to 200 goats can sell between 150 to 200 goats annually. In processing plants, goats are slaughtered humanely to comply with the demands of major markets in the Middle East. Afterwards, the goats are skinned and thoroughly cleaned with cold water to remove any dirt. The meat is then divided into cuts such as leg, ribs, neck, and internal organs. Once categorized, the goat meat is vacuum sealed to maintain freshness for longer periods. In 2023, India consumed nearly 1.6 billion pounds of goat meat. Local supermarkets offer fresh goat meat or pre-marinated cuts to cater to diverse consumer preferences. Many customers opt for goat meat as a healthier alternative to beef or pork. Some farmers have expanded into dairy production on their farms, distributing milk directly to consumers and manufacturing dairy products. In Australia, farmers use modern milking machines, increasing goat milk productivity by 20% when compared to traditional methods. In Israel, over 2,400 families raise dairy goats in closed-in farms, producing 11.1 million litres of goat milk annually. The milking process begins with sanitizing the goat's udder using a disinfectant solution. Then milking machines are attached to the udder, applying gentle vacuum pressure to extract milk naturally. The collected milk is then transferred directly onto cold storage tanks for preservation before processing or transportation. Did you know that in Australia, the equivalent number of beef cattle over 25.3 million is nearly the equivalent to the country's population, which currently stands at 26.8 million. With beef exports valued at over $7.5 billion annually, Australia ranks among the world's leading beef-producing nations. But what truly sets Australia apart is the way these cattle are raised in an enormous expanse of grasslands, spanning 494 million acres, larger than the combined area of Texas and California. So how can Australia's cattle industry become so exceptional? Let's dive in. First, let's get familiar with Australia's main cattle raising regions. Northern Australia, including areas like Queensland and the Northern Territory, account for 75% of the country's cattle farming area. This region is renowned for live cattle exports, with Indonesia being the primary market. It also supplies beef for global hamburger markets. Queensland alone manages 11 million cattle, nearly half of the nation's total herd. In the south, New South Wales and nearby regions have smaller but more specialised farms focusing on premium beef breeds with superior marbling, ideal for high-end dishes like Wagyu. One fascinating highlight is Anna Creek Station in South Australia, the largest cattle station in the world. Covering 5.85 million acres, the size of Israel, it is home to over 20,000 beef cattle. Every day, farmers on Australia's vast cattle stations face the daunting challenge of managing herds numbering in the tens of thousands across immense landscapes. In large cattle stations in Queensland and the Northern Territory, helicopters are utilised to monitor and herd cattle efficiently across hundreds of thousands of acres. Each flight, lasting 2 to 4 hours, can check and direct over 2,000 cattle, significantly reducing time and labour compared to traditional methods using horses or off-road vehicles. In addition to helicopters, Australian cattle dogs are invaluable allies in cattle management. These agile and responsive dogs can perform the work of multiple labourers, particularly during large-scale mustering operations. Every day, farmers inspect the health of their cattle by observing their behaviour, weight, and physical condition. Cattle showing signs of illness, such as weight loss or lethargy, are isolated and treated immediately to prevent the spread of disease. Simultaneously, farmers supplement the herd's diet with hay and grains during the dry season, ensuring the cattle maintain health and steady growth. In New South Wales and the Northern Territory, automated water stations have been implemented to meet the drinking needs of livestock. These stations can serve over 500 cattle daily and are connected to remote monitoring systems to ensure a steady supply and proper functionality to allow farmers to focus on other management tasks. Annually, large-scale mustering events are organised to count, sort and relocate cattle to new grazing areas. These operations, often lasting several days, involve helicopters, cattle dogs and off-road vehicles working in tandem. Healthy cattle are moved to lush pastures, while those requiring special care are kept near the main stations for monitoring. In Australia, each cattle breed is selected to match the climatic conditions of specific regions. In the Northern Territory in Queensland, the Brahman breed, known for its heat tolerance and resistance to parasites, accounts for over 70% of the total cattle population in these areas. Meanwhile, in New South Wales and the southern regions, Hereford and Angus cattle dominate, prized for their high-quality beef with superior marbling. A fully grown Angus can weigh between 1,400 and 1,500 pounds, providing premium beef for gourmet dishes such as Wagyu. More than 1.2 billion acres of grasslands in Australia are managed scientifically to provide sustainable feed for the cattle. Farmers employ rotational grazing methods, fertilising over 2,000 pounds of manure per acre in order to maintain soil fertility. A large farm can stockpile enough grass to sustain 10,000 cattle for 4 months without resorting to industrial feed. Australian cattle dogs are invaluable in herding, especially in controlling stubborn or injured cattle. Each dog can guide 200 to 300 cattle, reducing herding time by 50% when compared to manual methods and minimising stress for the animals. All cattle in Australia are tagged with RFID, or radio frequency identification. This is done to monitor weight, vaccination history, and overall health. An RFID scanning system can process 1,000 cattle per hour, reducing the mortality rate to below 2% compared to the global average of 5 to 10. Each year, Australian farmers manage the reproductive cycles of over 12 million breeding cows. A 90% success rate is achieved through close monitoring and assisted birthing. Newborn calves receive special care during their first 24 months, with high-energy diets to ensure the highest survival rates. On average, a cow in Australia consumes between 35 and 50 pounds of grass daily, accounting to 13,000 to 18,000 pounds annually. During the dry season, farmers supplement their diet with 1,100 pounds of hay per cow, along with grains and mixed feeds to ensure complete nutrition. From meticulously caring for each cow on vast grasslands, their journey now transitions to the final stage, transportation and slaughter. Before transportation, farmers herd the cattle into large holding areas, often called feedlots. Each feedlot can hold between 500 and 1,000 cattle and is designed with ample space to reduce stress for the animals. During this process, the cattle are provided with clean water and feed to maintain their health before transportation. The cattle are then transported using large trucks or specialized trains. These vehicles are specially designed with ventilation systems and shock-absorbing padding to keep the cattle comfortable throughout their journey. A standard truck in Australia can carry between 80 and 100 cattle per trip, covering an average distance of 300 to 500 miles. In remote areas like the Northern Territory, trains are primarily the mode of transport, capable of moving up to 1,200 cattle in a single journey. At the processing factory, first the cattle are guided into holding pens designed with curved pathways to reduce stress and prevent panic. Automated stunning systems ensure that the cattle feel no pain, adhering to the humane standards set out by the World Organization for Animal Health. Next, workers use modern cutting tools to quickly skin, eviscerate and clean the carcasses under high-pressure warm water. Modern slaughterhouses in Australia, such as those in Queensland, can process over 1,500 cattle a day with a waste rate of only 2%. The slaughter process not only ensures hygiene, but also employs technologies like automated sorting systems to grade beef into different quality levels, from premium export-grade cuts to products for domestic consumption. After slaughter, the beef is quickly transferred into cold chain systems to maintain temperatures between 32 and 39 degrees Fahrenheit. This prevents bacterial growth and preserves freshness for processing. The majority of Australian beef production, over 60% of the total output, is exported to major markets such as the US, Japan, South Korea, and the Middle East. Japan leads the way, importing up to 39% of Australia's beef exports, followed by the United States with 23% and South Korea with 14%. Interestingly, Australian beef accounts for 50% of Japan's total beef imports, far surpassing the United States due to its superior quality and reliability of its supply chain. In recent years, the Middle Eastern market has also seen significant growth, with Australian halal beef meeting the needs of over 1.8 billion Muslims worldwide. The beef industry is a vital pillar of Australia's economy, contributing over $15 billion annually, including revenue from processed beef and live cattle exports. Here's an interesting fact. The export value of Australian beef is equivalent to selling 75 million iPhones annually, underscoring the industry's economic strength. Beyond financial contributions, the beef industry creates over 200,000 jobs, spanning farms, processing plants, and logistics. The sector's sustainability and efficiency has solidified Australia's position as one of the top 3 beef exporters globally, alongside the United States and Brazil. In Australia, the beef industry is not just a production sector, but also a unique cultural landmark, deeply tied to the people and their lives in remote areas. From vast cattle stations to the stories of jackaroos or ranch hands, it all paints a vivid picture of Australia's beef farming culture. A typical cattle station can manage between 20 and 30,000 cattle, requiring farmers to work 10 to 12 hours a day, regardless of harsh weather conditions. Farmers often face challenges such as prolonged droughts, dust storms, and temperatures soaring up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit in summer. However, through perseverance, farmers have innovated by reusing groundwater and deploying drones to monitor cattle, reducing labour efforts and conserving vital resources. These efforts have helped shape a resilient and unique cattle farming culture that is distinctively Australian.